Welcome to another episode with Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? We got a 2005 Ford Ranger. Complaint is an oil leak. Customer had somebody previously diagnose it, and they told them they need a rear main seal. If the rear main seal is leaking on your car, chances are you're going to have to remove the transmission or remove the engine. On older vehicles, they came with, and some are maybe some new ones, they come with a half moon seal, which means that's when you drop the oil pan, remove the rear main seal bearing cap, and change it. I do not know why they came out with the full seals that you got to remove the transmission or remove the engine, because what happens is this labor is really expensive for like a $20 part. But we're going to try to set this camera up underneath so we can visually inspect this car and check out what's going on. Alright, let's get this vehicle jacked up and see about it. Okay, here we got the Ford Ranger jacked up. Now what we're going to do is go in, and I'm going to show you, when you jack these vehicles up, or any vehicle, as you can see, I got the jack right there. I got a piece of wood above it, and the jack stand. Now a lot of mechanics will put the jack stand up under there and take the jack out. No, what I do is, like, that's, to me, that's reinforcement. Leave the jack stand up under there, let the vehicle rest down on the jack stand, but leave the jack in place. That's an added security. Alright, now what we're going to do is, hopefully the camera will be able to take a view at this. And you can see I got my cardboard down there and the blanket to lay on. And if you noticed, I mean, just from sitting here with the cardboard, this already started leaking. So this ain't gonna be too hard to diagnose. Alright, let's get up under there and see where this leak is coming. Alright, we're up under the vehicle. There's my oil stains. Now we're gonna look up at the engine. Oh yeah. I see oil right at the beginning of the bell housing. I think you can see it right there. So I know oil is definitely leaking from behind the engine. Looks like I got a new O2 sensor here. And we want to make sure that there's no oil coming down the side of the engine, which will make it appear that the rear main seal is leaking. So let's get up under here further. And look on the other side. Oh, look at that, all that oil on the starter. If you got oil leaking on a starter, it can shorten the life of a starter. So you definitely want to get that fixed pronto. Now if you notice, the oil's just on the bottom of the starter, not on the top. So more than likely that starter is coming from within the bell housing. The bell housing is the big part of the transmission. Right here, that big part. So we definitely got a rear main seal leak, which means this transmission is going to have to come out. And as I said, you can remove the transmission or you can remove the engine. In a case like this, it's much easier to remove the transmission. And when we do this job, we're going to do the front transmission seal also. Because if that leaks, you got to remove the transmission or the engine. Alright, we're going to get some prices up, and we're going to see what the customer wants to do. Okay, after diagnosing the vehicle, we have determined, yes, the rear main seal is leaking. But here's the good part about this now. It could be that the car is overfilled with oil. We checked the oil level, and it's a little bit above maximum. Now, you got to remember, the oil seal is up here. The oil level on your car is supposed to be about this high. If you overfill that car, the oil got no place to go but through that seal. Now, here's what's throwing me to that conclusion, is that the car is sitting still, and I see oil dripping down, which means that oil is above that seal, because it should not be leaking. If the seal is bad, it's not going to leak until the car is running and the oil just flapping around inside the oil pan. So what we're going to do here, the customer's going to drive this car for about a week. So I'm going to let that oil level drop down a little bit, come back, park it on the other part of the driveway, and see if the oil leak remains. If it doesn't, it's a fix, it's done. It doesn't make no sense in going through this expensive job of removing the transmission. If it does, then we're going to schedule to pull the transmission out and do the rear main seal and the front transmission seal, because being that we got it apart, might as well do it. This is another episode of Astro Auto Repairs. If we can't repair it, nobody can. Check you in the next vehicle.